Hey guys, so I was doing my daily scrolling on the internet, as one does, and I came across something so beautiful. I came across crack fanfics. Now listen, if you don't know what a crack fanfic is, it's basically a very, very unhinged fanfiction. And usually it's more or less shipping two people that barely make any sense together, but somehow the author always finds a way. Now listen, I wasn't really a Wattpad girly myself, but I was no stranger to it. Back in the day, I may or may not have written a few crack fics myself. Like come on, who hasn't congregated with a group of friends and collectively put their group effort into a fanfiction? So yeah, let's just say my child brain was very imaginative back then. But anyways, I collected a few crazy stories from around the internet, and I'm almost 100% sure that these were all made for jokes and goofs and gags. But yeah, I wanted to bring their beauty into reality. I wanted to make them feel real. So put your seatbelts on, because I don't think you're ready for this. Guys, don't judge me. I'm gonna try my best at doing an Elmo impression. How tiring! Elmo whines, stretching his arms over his head. He had just gotten done with his leftover work that was piling up on his desk. He felt exhausted from staying up so late. Feeling a headache coming, he pressed his red fur-covered fingers to his forehead. Deciding that this is all the work he could handle, he turns over to face the unknown.
Remember, kids, if you're feeling tired, just take a break,
he said before people around him started laughing and giggling at him. Elmo hung his head in embarrassment. He used to work in a children's entertainment show. Elmo was startled when his phone rang. It was his friend, Big Bird. Big Bird had recently moved back in town after his host dumped him.
Hey, shorty!
Big Bird's booming voice yells through Elmo's phone. Elmo greeted the big horny... What? Elmo greeted the big horny bird back and listened to the bird rant about his host leaving him for the 20th time and how he needs his little red pookie wookie to come hang with him. By hang with him, Elmo thought hanging out. But nah, he meant drinking. Getting wasted, Elmo slouches in his chair, drinking some random alcohol.
Hey, little red! Meet Peppa. She's my new baby girl.
The big chicken introduces the two before walking away with his new hose that'll probably try and rob him like the last one did. Rolling his eyes, Elmo looks into the void again before stating,
remember, stay away from drug addicts like him,
and taking a sip of his beverage. That's when his girl started calling.
YOLO!
Elmo, when are you coming home? The kids are waiting for you.
Kids? Since when did we have kids?
Elmo levitates back home to where his nagging lady is. He grabs her hand, starts singing Wrecking Ball while swinging her like one. When he was done, Elmo did 5 somersaults to their room and laid in bed before forcing Barbara's hands around him. The end. Guys, hear me out. Why do I kinda feel bad for depressed, overworked Elmo? And why do I kinda get attached to the story? It's just the thought of this ex-child entertainer who was always known for being happy, going through this bland, sad reality that a lot of people face that really hits me in the heart. And I know the ending is funny and all, but I'm just saying, if the author sees this, I hope he continue because I wanna see Elmo in the trenches, bro. I need to see this relationship with Barbie and Big Bird be explored further. I want to see cheating. I want to see relationships destroyed, manipulation, sadness, tears, joy. Whatever you can think of, I need it in the story. This needs to be continued, bro. There's a lot of undiscovered potential here. I woke up and immediately started crying because my mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, cousin, first cousin, and rich South Asian prince uncle died in a car crash before I was born. I fixed my 5'11" blonde hair into a messy bun. I threw on a pair of sweatpants and a sweater. I wasn't like other girls. I ran out of the door to my new school. I was walking through the hallway of the school when a girl named Elizabeth shoved me down and her friends laughed at my 1.106-inch body. A girl named Bethanifene? What kind of fucking name is Bethanifene? Is Bethanifene a real name? Cause shout out to you if your name is Bethanifene. So, A girl named Bethanifene watched as I was laughed at. Loser, you should go and be a nerd somewhere else. Elizabeth snorted. I began to cry, running away. I ran into a wall. Then I remembered that walls don't pulsate with pure muscle. I looked up. There was a 17-foot, 62-inch boy who was shirtless. He looked like an angel. That boy has raven dark hair and grey eyes. He has a 96 pack of abs. I'm in love. "What do you want?" he snarled. He was so hot. I don't care, my angel said, then slammed my 1.52-inch body into the wall, breaking all 209 of my bones. "Owie," I said as he walked away, punching every locker door he could. "Also, the name is Adrian," he snarled. The bell rang, so I went to my first class. When I walked in, I saw Bethanyphene talking to a nice guy. "Class, this is your name," the teacher said. "Hi." "Ha, loser, you're so weird," Elizabeth said, drop-kicking my 1.2-inch body and crushing my 231 points into dust. "Elizabeth, settle down," the teacher said, but the nice-looking man came to me. Guy's POV. I came to her. She looked hurt. "Hey, I'm Mason Roy. I think we should get you to the nurse's office." I picked up Ryan's crushed up bone dust and took her to the nurse. Thanks. Elizabeth always makes fun of me, she said. "No problem. You know, why don't you come to my party? It's tonight," I said. Ryan's POV. "Wow, this guy is being so nice to me." Yes. Mason's POV. "Cool. See you then." "See you," she said. "God, she is so hot. Please marry me," I thought. Chapter 2. I was at my locker when my angel boy walked beside me. "Hey," he said, with his voice as deep as an old blue whale. He wore a disgusted look on his face when he looked at me, but I knew it was out of love. "Sorry," he said gruffly. "For what?" I said in a whisper. "Scaring you when school started. Sorry, my dad doesn't really care about me, so..." "It's okay," I said as he walked away. When I got home, I went to my room. I saw Adrian in the window. "Hey," he said, his eyes as silver as the car my parents were killed by. "Hi," I said. "Are you going to Mason's party?" he said, a disgusted look spreading across his face at the mention of Mason. "Yeah." "Okay, I'll be there," he said in his deep pits of hell voice. He then broke my window and then he disappeared. That boy is so devilish and hot. I love him, I thought. The end. Okay guys, that was actually just the introduction. I think my 1.106-inch hand will snap in half if I do longer ones. But guys, let's just be real to ourselves for a second. Don't we all want a 17-foot boyfriend who will carry our crumpled up bones? I guess only a woman can dream. You know what? I'll rate that story 100 out of 100. It impressed me, made me cry, it made me emotional thinking about the struggles of YN and how sad it must feel to have a Bethanyphene in your life who crushes up your bones constantly. So yeah, next story. Thomas the Train chugged a Monster Energy drink as he went along the tracks where he had to stop. Why, I hear you ask? Because Guy Fieri was filming a cooking show. "Damn, this is so good, I could get lost in the sauce," Guy Fieri said as he drank a bottle of insect repellent. "Don't do that at home, kids. Please don't." Suddenly, Guy Fieri was no longer human, but a straight-up Ferrari. Gordon Ramsay looked down at him in disgust. "I found the lamb sauce, but I wish I never did," Gordon said as he ascended to the heavens. Guy Fieri made sad car noises while the camera crew creamed up the set. Cleaned as the camera crew cleaned up the set. You know what? You try saying that 5 times, okay? Thomas the Train bent over to Guy Fieri to make him feel better, because being a sentient mode of transportation wasn't all that bad. Danny DeVito came out of nowhere with the yellow M&M. "Wait, you have peanuts in you? I'm allergic," Danny said to the yellow M&M. Danny then contracted hives and died immediately. "Bro, what?" The yellow M&M started crying. His tears corroded the sugar coating off of him and he died too. Thomas and Guy Fieri watched. Oh my god. I just realized it says Guy Ferrari and not Guy Fieri. Thomas and Guy Ferrari watched. "Ciao, anyway, so," Guy Ferrari said. Suddenly, Demi Lovato's Cool for the Summer started playing. Thomas took the time to propose to Guy Ferrari, who he had known for 30 minutes? Guy Ferrari said yes. When the lyrics to Cool for the Summer said, "Die for each other," Thanos appeared. "I like your cut, G," said Guy Ferrari as he skidded his tire on Thanos' bald AF head. Thanos cried. Thomas then pulled out a joint because Jesus, he just agreed to marry this guy.
"Thomas, is that a weed?"
said Guy Ferrari, his engine heart now breaking into a million pieces. "Oh, no, this is a crayon," said Thomas. The joint had, in fact, turned into a green crayon. Betrayed, Guy Ferrari shouted, "I'm calling the police!" Guy Ferrari then pulled out a the microwave and put in the numbers 911. For some reason, the microwave picked up and it was Thanos on the other end of the line. Seeing this whole thing go down, Thanos snapped his fingers and everyone died. While everyone was fading away, Guy Ferrari called out to Thomas.
I do love you,
Said Guy Ferrari. I know, I love you too, but I met you like 40 minutes ago, said Thomas. Those were the last words ever spoken. The moral of the story? Don't drink insect repellent. It doesn't matter if it's scented or not. It's never as good as you think it is, so don't get lost in the sauce. Bro, reading this felt like one of those really weird fever dreams where after you finish dreaming you end up waking up in a cold sweat not knowing where you are. I don't even think I need to say anything. The story just speaks for itself. So yeah, this was absolute cinema. Now guys, I know things are getting really stressful in America, like there's like 500 things happening all at once. So for all my American viewers, I have something that may put an ease to your heart. It's the Joe Biden x Donald Trump love story. And listen, I admittedly chose the story because I felt like I could do a pretty good Trump impression. So just wait for it, alright? Just like any day, Trump woke up and put on his uniform. He was late, so he didn't have time to eat breakfast. So he threw a piece of toast in his mouth and ran to school. But then something unexpected happened. He crashed into Joe, the most popular boy at school. Trump was shocked. He felt like it was love at first sight. Joe thought so too. Trump apologized for bumping into Joe.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
Guys, I promise you, I was doing such a fire impression yesterday. I don't know what happened today, but I don't care. I'm holding you hostage. You're going to bed with me. Joe smiled and said,
It's fine. I don't mind cute girls like you bumping into me.
Joe grabbed Trump's chin. Trump started blushing. In fact, his whole face was red. Trump couldn't get the words out of his mouth. He was just too embarrassed to say anything. Joe let go of Trump and waved.
Bye, Trump.
Trump was too stunned to speak. No way his crush just did that. Trump realized he was even more late now. He rushed and finally arrived. He sits next to Joe in class. Trump tries not to look at Joe, but he fails horribly. School has now ended and Trump was walking back home. And then he sees Joe right next to him.
Joe. Hi.
Trump said while blushing.
Oh, are you blushing?
Joe said with a smirk. He grabbed Trump's chin like he did before, but this time, he kissed him! Trump was so shocked but happy.
Joe!
Trump shouted.
Huh? What's wrong, Trump? Did I make you too flustered?
Joe said.
Well, yes, but why would you kiss me? I mean, I'm just a regular high school girl.
Trump said, blushing. Joe smiled.
You're not a regular high school girl, Trump. You're the girl of my dreams. The girl I love the most.
Joe said. Trump was really surprised.
Really, Joe?
Of course, Trump. I love you a lot.
Joe said. This time, he was blushing. Trump giggled. He was glad. He was glad he had such a great boyfriend. The end. So, yeah. That was deeply emotional. That was very moving. I think we could all dream of a romance that they had together. But if real life was like this, I think we'd all be better off. I'm just saying. Like guys, why do we need politics? Just kiss and solve everything. Like, get over it. So I'd rate that story 1,000,000 out of 100. I love that. That was in the top 10 percentile of stories. You know, I feel like we've learned a very valuable lesson here today, guys. You know, it doesn't hurt to lose a bit of sanity every once in a while. Because how else would you birth stories so beautiful? So yeah, those were some deeply emotional and moving stories. Make sure you give the authors some love, because I just loved how unhinged it was. Chef's kiss. And if you guys have written or read some crazy stories that you'd like me to animate, or if you just like this video, make sure you tell me about it in the comments. You know, like, comment, subscribe, everything the usual. But yeah,